Alright guys, today I'm going to show you how to fix a broken binding the proper way. Now my shop where I work is upstairs and my wife and 2 kids are downstairs, so you may hear some background noise, but I don't think many of you will mind here. Got my microphone, and many people on my Rebind video said I was breathing just way too hard, so I'll try to be calmer as I do this, hopefully. And so here we have a Cambridge pit minion, and it has a break, a very classic break, very common on paste down Bibles and even on leather lined Bibles. It's still paper, it's still threading, it's still glue. Bibles could only last so long if you're actually using them. Now many people, they tried to do the DIY method with some tape. This is a no-no, because the best case that you're going to get with using tape is you're going to tape this thin piece of Bible paper with this thin piece of Bible paper. So that will do nothing, as you could probably ascertain that is not going to do much. Here, I'm just putting my my tools away up here. So you want to do this the right way, and hopefully you haven't already tried to DIY this yourself and gone to the point of no return to where we got to tear off these first pages and start over. So here's how we're going to do this the correct way. Now, if you notice with this pit minion, with many of the pit minions, hopefully I'm going to be able to show. You see how, let me get a pointer here. You see how that's beginning to break right there, or it's not beginning to break, actually, forgive me. That is factory. So we don't want to install this cover to where it's tight again, because if you do that, it'll pull the binding apart. So Cambridge does it for a reason, to where it's got some room right there, and I hope it's coming up in the video. Hopefully the camera's focusing. But you see that? We want to replicate that. So there's a proper process to replicate where the binding has about a 3/16. See how it opens up like that nicely? See, we want to preserve that. So we're going to do this in a very specific way to fix this pit minion. And here's the tools you're going to need. Utility knife, to which I'll have linked in the description, these few things. Here's a little needle feed applicator. We got some PVA glue or pH glue. It'll be linked in the description. This is what I use. Best glue, bar none. Best glue possible to buy for Rebind. And then some of this mesh cloth stuff, some book cloth. So what we're going to do here is we need to carefully remove the pages to not damage them, and so that we can reinstall them. And once we're done, this binding will be exactly like factory. And I have done this on many Bibles, and I have done this on one of my pit minions, and so that my pinion just will last a really long time. Oh, so I'm not even talking here. So what I'm doing here is, here's the this is an end sheet. That's an end sheet. This is a flyleaf Bible paper. So what we want to do is separate that right there. And what I do is I don't use a knife or nothing, because I want to feel it. And I just press it. See that? Press it down, start to loosen it up. Because what we don't want to do is tear anything. And if you take your time, it'll just kind of come up. Alright. Beautiful thing. Finish the break. Okay. Now we got this backside done. Got some stragglers from the reinforcement hanging on. All right. Now let's do the other side here. We'll put that to the side. And I'll show you more about how Cambridge reinforces their Bibles and what we're trying to maintain. All right, so do the same thing over here. Just press it with your finger, and you'll have a feel for it. Can't really explain that. And since the reinforcement is still attached on this side, get yourself a butter knife, and you don't want to use a utility knife because it's going to cut like crazy, right? So we're just trying to break the original reinforcement. Check it out. Happy, happy, happy. So what we're wanting to preserve is, if you see that right there, see how it lifts? Now if you glue that down, you're going to have too tight of a binding. You don't want that. Cambridge does it for a reason. So we want to preserve the space that Cambridge allows on these paste down end sheets. See that? Right? We want to preserve that. We don't want to ruin that. So we got that off, and I'm actually going to be rebinding this Bible. So I'm actually going to fix it, put it back together, and then take it apart. So I'll show you how I take apart a Bible, getting ready for rebind. Maybe at the end, maybe not. We'll see. So take your needle nose gluer, and we're just going to reattach. We're going to reattach the papers with glue because there's nothing to sew. It's just it's not in a signature. So just apply a little bit of glue. And especially when we reinforce this Bible will probably be stronger than it was factory. Let me just clean up. Sometimes the reinforcement material gets all over the place. That's not threading. That's just reinforcement wires. And there we go. Right? And this is not really complicated here. Line it up, and I touch one corner, and I'll try to line up the bottom, and then the rest should be just kind of there. Won't have to mess with it there. And can't always get it perfect, you know. I wish I could do perfection every single time. Wouldn't that be great? So there we go. Our stuff is reinstalled. Now what we have left to do is we're going to reinforce the spine. We are going to add the two ribbons, and then I'm going to show you what the process is when it comes to the book cloth. This is just black paper, nothing fancy, but what I use for like the same thing they have here, this tan paper. I just use black paper. And so we're going to do it in a certain way and install it a certain way so that it is back to factory. So let's get some ribbons. Let's put this in the book press, and we will get the spine reinforced and ready to reinstall. All right, so we got our book cloth there. You got your craft paper cut to size. You got your two ribbons. This is getting two black ribbons, and you got your thing of glue, got your brush. All right, you're ready for business. So I'm gonna pull this off carefully. I like to save these. I love the Cambridge thin ribbons. Honestly, I don't even like. I don't like the Beresfords. Well, I don't say I like it, but just I don't like loud. I like everything to be simple and functional. And okay, so we're gonna reuse these right here to keep with the Cambridge look. Okay, so we're gonna take a lighter here and just actually saw another bindery do this, and I said Why haven't I been doing that? So, just take a little fire to it. There we go. Happy, happy. Now we can reuse it. Now we're going to apply glue. Now whenever you do book cloth on a spine, the ribbons go under the book cloth. So if I do a rebind for you and I reinforce the spine and you want to do a ribbon change, good luck. It may or may not. I don't know. I've never tried it. I've never tried to do a ribbon change after I did this type of work on a Bible. I just left them alone. And I don't think anybody else changed the ribbons. So we're going to apply some light coat of glue. And you want to get I like to do this to get a nice layer on the edges there to really make contact with the first signatures. And then keep applying some glue generously, just not on the edges. The edges you want just enough, and then the rest you can do whatever you want. Alright, wipe the edge. So ribbons are installed. Do one ribbon, and then since this is a smaller Bible, the ribbons are going to be slightly stacked. So we're going to apply a little glue on the first ribbon, apply a little glue on the second ribbon, and now we do our book cloth. And you want your book cloth to extend. We want that. We don't want it just right. We want it to extend. All right, and then take your brush here and just press it on the edges. Don't worry about the center too much, but the edges, we want those happy, happy, happy. All right, now apply some more glue. You really don't need to, but it just, I mean, there's enough glue on the spine to really hold that cheesecloth, but I do out of habit, and doesn't hurt to have more glue, because if you use the bookbinding glue that we have linked down in the description, when it hardens, it's still flexible. So it certainly will stiff up the spine, but it will break in. You'll be all right. So if it's a little stiff at first, you know, my idea for a leather cover is if it's kind of like my boots. If my boots are too soft, like if they're comfortable right when I put them on, I'm not buying them. I want my boots to hurt my feet, because then I know it's going to break in well and it's going to last, most likely. So now that we got our glue, got our cloth down, we could reinstall our headbands and tailbands, and I usually leave a moment for the glue to kind of set up here on top where the ribbons are, but for the sake of the video we'll move on. If it doesn't stay, I'll come back and redo it. I'm not too worried. Alright, so let's reinstall our headbands. Alright, hopefully there's not too much glue pressing out, and then apply a little glue on top of the headband. All right. Now we're going to take our craft paper, and again we want it to extend. Now we're going to cut this later, so don't worry about how much it extends. We're going to cut it down. So there is the, press the edges, press the edges. All right. Now I am going to let this dry for say 20 minutes, and then after that we will do a little bit more prep, and then we'll install the cover on it and we'll be done. So I'll be back once this is done curing just a little bit. All right, so now that we have our Bible here out of the press, and the reason we want this craft paper still in there along with the book cloth is because I'm going to show you how this is bound. And here's my NLT Pit Minion, and you could see the width of the spine, right? And here's just a better shot of that reinforcement. You could see in the spine that it is not completely touching, right? They leave this 3/16 on each side, and this is just bound really, really well. It's very, very smart. You could tell that Cambridge, through trial and error, or did it this way to fix a problem. So that's what we want to do with our reinforcement here. So what you could do here is take your ruler, get your marking pen. I'll try to find these and also try to link them down below. But take your mark right here. Oh, show better. And just mark 3/16. 3/16. Okay. And we're going to cut that right there. We're going to cut the craft paper and the cloth paper. 3/16. 3/16. Okay. All right. And we're going to take our scissors here, and not sure how your perspective is going to be, but you get the gist. You understand what we're doing here. Then we're going to cut along that line. Hopefully the cloth paper is there. It's kind of hard to hold on to it. Sorry for the terrible perspective here. See how we did? Beautiful. Beautiful thing. That's what we want. Alright. Same thing on this side. Alright. Make sure they're together. Try to cut them together. Alright, beautiful thing. So now, just kind of straighten that out a little bit. So, what we're wanting to do is we're wanting to install it onto there, right? Makes sense? You're wanting this part to touch the underside of the end, the lined note paper. I mean the lined note paper, come on. The end sheet. That's what we want. So, what we're going to do here, and it's kind of tricky, but it's not difficult, is get these. These will make your life easier. And you could see we have the craft paper so that it'll have a backing and not actually glue onto the leather. We want to maintain, again, we want to maintain the original way that Cambridge reinforced this thing. So, apply some glue onto there. Alright. And you could take your finger and try to spread it out evenly there. Make sure we have the right side. Yes. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to tuck it. See that? See that? Easy peasy, right? Line it up. Sorry, I'm having a terrible camera angle for you, but I really don't care, because you'll get the picture. I do care. Sorry, I do care. Alright, so now I know I probably have horrendous camera angle right now. Alright, we've lined it up. Next thing we're going to need to do is kind of tuck it. Make sure it's lined up well. Alright, I know I'm doing terrible angles for you, but just kind of make sure it's tucked well and that you're straight. Alright? Beautiful thing. And I just want to check it here. It's incredibly difficult doing this on the camera. Alright. Beautiful. Press it down, press it down. Now, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to pull this out a little bit. I don't think I did that enough on the other side. Again, I'm going to be rebinding this Bible, so I'm actually literally going to take it apart as soon as I'm done doing this video here. Alright. Again, we want to apply some glue to the underside here. Apply some glue, and you want to be kind of generous so that the book cloth is enough. Hopefully this is making sense. Hopefully I'm doing a good job showing what I'm doing. If I am, please let me know in the comments that this was helpful. Truly, the comments are great feedback for what I'm doing here. I really do read them. I don't know if I'm good at answering all of them, but I certainly do try. Alright, and you see how this side's a little easier. I just picked it up, wrapped it, okay, and then make sure we're straight. I think we got this first try, because you can't really tuck, right? You can't do the whole tuck process because there's no access to it, right? So make sure it's straight. You do have some time to kind of wiggle it around. Not much, but if you get close, you'll be good. So now, and hopefully I showed a clear picture. Now we need to put this in the press again. We're almost done. Not quite. Almost done. So let's put this in the press again. Let it cure for a bit. And we'll be back and I'll show you the final process. Final step to this process. Alright, we got our Bible here out of the book press. And I've kind of sped the process along, only letting it dry for 10 minutes. So we have one more step in the process. Again, we're going to get our handy dandy needle applicator right here, and I actually did watch the videos, and I think the microphone being close, I did not do this. This is not my work. I don't know where this came from. There's something sticking, something sticky. What's that about? I don't know. Maybe I did do that. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to replace that for him. So we have our original reinforcement under there. So what we're going to do now is take our needle applicator and apply some glue right there in the spine. Getting caught up on the book cloth. And then we'll put a little bit out here. Press it. Do the same thing on the other side. Right? Got a reinforcement under the liner, the end sheet. Apply some glue right on that right there. Apply some glue, 3/16 on the outside. And press it. And then I always, before I use a Bible, let it dry for a day. This glue has a 24-hour cure time. And so if you have followed along, you have successfully, the professional way, fixed a paste down Bible. You could take your ribbons here, tuck them in, grab this one, tuck it in, and then take your, don't know how long they want them, but we'll do it that long. And then take your lighter. There we go. Let it sit for 24 hours. You just reinforced the spine, added new ribbons, and maintained the factory reinforcement from Cambridge. And this Bible is good for however long it lasts, but it should last you some time. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, we have links down below in the description of the tools we used here. And when you purchase through the links, it helps us greatly to fund taking the time making these videos for you. And I don't know if you hear in the background my 5-month-old in the background crying there. Poor guy. So man, give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Would love to hear from you. Be blessed in Jesus' name. Bye-bye.